It literally just stopped raining. You can actually see the rain cloud in the distance, and it was clear over there, and now the same cloud is over there. It's wonderful. So we can get back to it. Why am I here? Why am I recording? Well, I don't really know. I wanted to show you something that I got and raise it a little. There you go. I got a new telescope and I just wanted to test it out. It's completely white. In this nondescript oh my god, in this nondescript black tube there is a Soviet telescope called the Tourist 3, and that name kind of gives away its intended purpose, I suppose. And yeah, it appeared on a local auction site, and I thought it was really neat, so I bought it. Actually, that's not true. It appeared on the auction site, and I considered bidding, but then I just looked it up, its name, and found a much better deal in a much better condition, and I bought that one for 1,800 Czech crowns. Did I overpay? Probably not. Actually, it actually seems about fair. So, because I really wanted a telescope with high magnification, and this claims 20x magnification with 50mm aperture. None of those are really true, I would say, but it still magnifies a lot more than any of the binoculars that I have and that you've actually seen in the previous video, or 2 videos ago, when we were looking at the moons of Jupiter with the binoculars. Obviously, that's not gonna be possible today. If the sky was clear, we probably would be able to see Venus and Jupiter in broad daylight, if provided that I can actually find them. But yeah, the way it actually achieves such high magnification, 20x magnification supposedly, is by having a really long focal length, and this doesn't look that long. That's because it extends. It's an actual pirate spyglass, a Soviet pirate spyglass, and I love it. It looks so fucking dumb when I use it, but I love it so much. So I'm gonna give you a much better. I'm gonna give you a look through this. Obviously, that's why I'm here. That's why I brought the phone. I made a crucial mistake while considering whether I should buy this or not, and that was asking on Reddit, where I asked, because when you think about it, you never really see people using this kind of pirate spyglass type telescope, and I wondered why. Because in theory, this is a really cool form factor for traveling. When you don't want to carry bulky binoculars, you get higher magnification, more or less the same or wider aperture in a smaller package. And then when you want to use it, you just extend it, put it on a tripod, ideally. I mean, you can do it handheld, and it actually kind of works. I'm gonna get to it. So yeah, I asked on Reddit whether these are worth it, whether, they're actually usable, why people don't use them. The response I got was basically that I'm fucking dumb, that I'm an idiot, that it's a fashion statement, that it's a gimmick, that it's useless, that it's completely garbage, and that I should kill myself. And you know what? All of those things may be true, but why don't we actually take a look through it and judge for ourselves? So, unfortunately, I only have a single tripod, but look at that. This Soviet telescope from 1980 probably. Actually, we know exactly when it's from, because I paid for the more expensive one that I found online. Not only does it come with the original carrying bakelite tube, it also comes with the original Russian or Soviet manual. And okay, let's see. This is from 1988. You can see it over there. It's actually in a pretty good condition, right? All things considered. As the Tourist 3, it has the optics. It has all of the information on the optics. So if I ever want to disassemble it, I can clean it. I can't actually read Russian, Oh no, the paper is really fragile. I can't actually read Russian, but maybe we can like extrapolate some things. Yeah, this is the. It says 59mm aperture, 515mm focal length. I mean that's true, but the usable aperture is much less than that. It's like 45 probably. As the optic strain described. I mean I can get this translated if I ever need. But look, there's everything you need to know about your brand new telescope that you bought in the 80s. That you can use on your travels through the Soviet autonomous republics. 1991, I guess, is when the original owner bought it. We even have the original stamp. This is something about Moscow. Moscow Oblast, Moskovska Oblast, I don't know. I know this was made in a factory in Western Russia, which I guess is really close to Moscow, so this is probably the address of the manufacturer. And yeah, I mean it's kind of neat, right? It's neat, that's why I bought it. It's cool. But guess what? Even the telescope from 1988, let's go by that date, it actually has the standard tripod mount thread thing. So let's put it on the tripod. Because I only have one tripod with me, we're gonna have to swap places with the telescope. So I'm gonna get the phone away from the tripod. I'm gonna steal the phone's mounting thing. And I don't know how I'm gonna frame this because I only have one tripod. Maybe I can put the phone here. Someone left their vodka shot over here. There was a celebration at the observatory recently. This framing is probably gonna suck a little because I can't really see the screen. So I'm kind of just eyeballing the field of view. Right? We can take the thing that the phone was mounted on, put it on the telescope, and it fits right into the thread. And then we can use it with the tripod. So, I mean, to be fair to the people on Reddit, a big concern from those that actually, had some constructive response was that it's gonna suck without a tripod, because once you get over 10x magnification, it's really difficult to actually keep your hands steady enough to see anything. And I mean, yeah, sure. Well, actually, I mean, I guess not everyone is young and can keep their hands steady enough to use this. So yeah, to be fair, that's a valid concern. There's probably people with a medical condition that would not be able to use this, and even I'm struggling to keep it steady. However, my hands have been shaky my whole life, so it's probably not the best reference. But look, you can just put it on a tripod, and it's perfectly fine. And yeah. And this is still a pretty compact setup, because if I collapse the telescope, fold up the tripod, I don't know why I'm doing it now, I could have just done it at the end of the video. I guess it comes down to personal preference, whether you want to carry, whether you want to carry binoculars, which are much shorter but wider, or this, which is much narrower but longer, I guess. Well, not really, because if you have binoculars with the similar magnification, they're probably gonna have the same length as this has retracted. But look, this is really compact. I can put it in my bag and just carry that around, or I can carry the tube in its bakelite cover and then have this tripod just strapped to the cover. This is awesome. I don't know why it got so much hate, but yeah. I mean, ideally, I should be using a much better tripod. This is meant for smartphones only, so it's really wobbly. It's all plastic. There's not a piece of metal. But even with this tripod, if I aim it at some really far away target, let's see over there. There's a cellular transmitter. if I kind of just don't touch it, it's actually really steady. So let me show you, even with this tripod. Let's see. So now we are aiming at a cell tower. I'm not sure if you can see it. At 3x magnification. There it is. This is 9x digital zoom with the iPhone. This is 1x, which is still much narrower field of view than a human eyesight. I guess the 0.5 wide angle lens is more or less, I mean, this is still narrower field of view than what you see with your naked eye. So let's see. I'm gonna sit down on the bench here, and the iPhone is probably not going to cooperate. Now, I have to admit, for taking photos through this actually sucks a lot. Because the eyepiece, look at this. The eyepiece is tiny, right, compared to my fingernail. This is really tiny. The eye relief is also not very good. Maybe we can just keep it with 1x. I think the autofocus is messing it up, so we can get closer to actually shoot above the railing. Fuck. I thought it would go better. Let me set it up again. I mean, right now I'm definitely limited by the tripod because it's all plastic. So when I aim it at my target and then I let go, the plastic just flexes back. But I mean, with the naked eye, looking through the telescope, I can count the individual antennas on the transmitter. There you go. The autofocus is, well, okay. I'm gonna switch to a manual camera app because the iPhone is just freaking out. It's probably trying to use the LiDAR and it knows there's something closer. So let's do that and go to manual focus. Okay, now we are on the telephoto. And let's see if it's better or worse. It's really difficult to frame it, but we can do that. And yeah, really difficult to keep it steady. It actually works better without the phone, just looking through the telescope. And I mean, I guess I don't know what I was trying to prove with this video. I don't know. I just wanted to show it off. I thought it's really cool. Maybe we disagree. Maybe we agree. I'm definitely gonna be bringing this to Prague with me to just be a really annoying tourist, which, you know, that's the name of the telescope. Let's see. Let's find something else to look at. I've actually discovered with this telescope there's a little windmill. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, there it is. Right? Almost. Yeah, as I said, the tripod is actually limiting me more than anything else right now. Okay, let's look at that for... Oh, I know what we can look at. There's like a watchtower. Not a watchtower. I don't know what you call it in English. Rozhodna. Put it into Google. Which is like 20 kilometers away. And you can actually make out the windows. And I think if you really kept looking and focusing, you could tell... Oh my god, this is so much better than yesterday. I was actually trying this yesterday, but the seeing conditions weren't very good. But now I guess after the rain, it like cleared up the air, the atmosphere. Can you see it? We need to go back to the manual camera. Actually, I forgot. Let's record this for reference. So for reference, wide angle, 1x, 3x, and then digital zoom. 9x digital zoom. Let me just rest the phone on the thing. You can kind of see the tower in the background. It's called Špulka in Czech, which means spool. You're gonna see exactly why we call it that. Okay, let me get on my knees and let's see. Look at that. You can totally see the windows. You can actually see that it's transparent in the middle. Let's see how close I can get the phone. The problem is I can't keep the phone steady and talk at the same time. This is so cool. You can actually see like the individual antennas on the thing. Let's look at that building over there. So this is a massive ammunition factory. American viewers may be familiar with it. It was actually bought by Colt recently. It's now all owned by Colt, which itself is now owned by the Czech Republic. So again, for reference, that's the building over there, and it looks like I actually have autofocus and it's managing. So this camera app is working better than the stock. And there's the windows. And again, for reference, there's the building with the 3x telephoto lens. It's so cool. Let's see if we can I zoom? No, I can't zoom in this app. That's unfortunate. Let's look at those buildings over there in the distance. This is like a, I don't know, I don't know how we would call this in English. Like a rehabilitation center. So for reference, 3x telephoto, and now through the telescope. This is so cool. I'm so happy with this. I'm so fucking happy that I didn't listen to the Redditors and bought this. There's like a transmitter over there. You can see there's two of them. There's like a big one. Actually, I don't think that's a... let's see, we have a telescope. Why speculate when you can literally just look at it? Oh my god. You can see the individual struts. Manual focus now, locked focus. Okay, this kind of sucked. What else can we look at? Oh yeah, I told you we can see some little windmills. So there's some buildings in the distance. And I've actually discovered that with this telescope we can see someone has like a wind generator. I mean, yeah, it's somewhere over there. You can't see it. But if I look through the telescope, there it is. You can see the rudder. You can see that it has 5 blades. Yeah, there's literally no way to know something like that even exists there at such a distance. I do want to show you one thing at least while we can, and it's currently being perfectly illuminated. It's probably gonna be visible even on the 3x telephoto. Looks like a little white tower. That's one of the lookout towers. I'm not sure if I actually showed you this in the start of the video, but I actually went there yesterday, over there, and I also went to a different tower which I don't think we can see with just... actually we can, look. It's catching the light perfectly. So there's one tower, and there's the other. Let's see with the telescope. You get the idea, right? It's not gonna look very good through it. Looking at this tower from the observatory looks like this. Taking a picture from the tower looking at the observatory looks like this. You can barely see the observatory dome, which is over here, right? I have the 3x lens, so everything's really zoomed in. There's the 3x for reference. Yeah, you can kind of see the tower. Now, 3x telephoto at that tower over there. Let's go back to the 0.44. And let's see if I can maneuver the telescope with the phone strapped to it or placed on it. And again, look at this yellow field. Right, this is through the telescope. There's a car driving by. 2 cars. And for reference, telephoto. There it is. Wow, this actually works so much better. So, at the beginning of the video, I was really afraid of touching the telescope because it would make it really shaky. But now, I think that trade-off is worth it. It's a bit shaky, but the field consistency is so much better. Look, there's some power lines again. And telephoto. And there's the chimney. With the company logo. And if we keep going left, we're gonna see our tower. So that one has a much better view of the observatory, which you can kind of tell even now. Well, not now, not right now, but you know, look at that. That's so fucking good. So that's the tower as seen from the observatory. And here's the observatory as seen from the tower. Look, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the optical thing happening where there's a halo being projected around me. If I move around. I don't know what causes this. I know this is common This is commonly seen from airplanes and from mountain tops. I don't think it could work at this kind of angle. There's the sun. It's pretty cool. This is perfect. It's the moon. I mean, it's not really that impressive. You can't really see anything. You can see Venus clearly with the phone. And maybe I can see it with the naked eye. I can see Jupiter already. It's kind of difficult to find in the sky right now. Yeah, you can actually see it on the iPhone. That's incredible. Tiny white dot. But now we are aimed at Venus. It's pretty far away, and I mean, this still doesn't have enough magnification to clearly see like the crescent shape. It's difficult to see even with a much higher power telescope. There is. I mean, it kind of looks like it has a shape, but I think that's just the optics. Yeah, you can see the shape changes if it gets to the side of the field of view. There's a big airplane. But anyway, the ISS is just gonna fly by. Now, I know this is a long shot, okay? I know, but what if, right? Can I actually keep it steady enough? Hand tracking the ISS. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to provide any proof that I've seen anything other than a white, bright dot. But when I look at Jupiter right now, which is about the same magnitude and angular size actually as the ISS, I can clearly see that it's a disk and not a point source. It's a Ryanair 737. I think it might actually be possible. It's gonna be really difficult, and you're gonna have to take my word for it until I can make a mount for a phone to actually try tracking the ISS. It's gonna fly really close to Venus, like really close. Do I try it with the phone? Sure, why the fuck not? If it doesn't work, I can just pick up the phone and keep looking at it with the thing. Manual camera is on. Let's go to 0.5. Focus. Let's go to... I just found some distant lights. Okay, this is probably the best. Let's try the moon now. Reasonably well focused, okay. It's really easy to throw this out of focus, so I have to be careful. There are planes flying by. Let's do a dry run on an airplane. It's an A320. Okay, this may be actually doable. Okay, let's see how high the thing, the space station is. Holy shit, that's it. Fucking shit. Okay, it's way too high now to track with the telescope. I'm gonna switch to the normal camera, and I want to try seeing it myself. I don't know if it actually worked. I have no idea. I actually have no idea. No. That just looks like a dot. That just looks like a normal good old dot. Actually, I can see a shape. I actually think I can see the shape of the ISS. I mean, I can see that it's not a dot. It would be much better if I could just position the telescope such that the station flies through the field of view. Yeah, holy fuck, I actually see the fucking solar panels. This is so fucking cool. Holy shit. Holy fuck. It's really faint, like barely. If you've ever looked at like Saturn with a low magnification telescope like this, where you can kind of tell that you can see the rings or some detail in there. I want to look at the video. I'm turning you off, and I want to see the video myself. We have now switched to my Vivo smartphone from like 2020. And yeah, now you can tell why I bought the iPhone for video recording, right? It's probably not that bad, right? I want to see if the iPhone actually captured any detail in the International Space Station, because I would be amazed. Fuck, I think the frame rate, or I think the exposure was too long. I don't think it worked. I don't think it worked. I should have switched to 60 FPS. I should have reduced the exposure. Why the fuck didn't I do that? It's a manual camera app. I'm actually so fucking stupid. Well, that was cool. Okay, actual final thoughts for this video. When I brought it to Prague, I mean, it's a city full of commie blocks, but still, it's really cool to just look around. And I did record a video of kind of just looking into the distance from like a sloped hill into the densely built up areas, and that's one of the better videos that better demonstrates the actual capabilities of this scope. Alright, so airplanes, faraway buildings, faraway landmarks on the horizon. I also used the telescope to look at some of Prague's wildlife. Let's take one more look at the moon. So fucking cool. One more look at Venus. There it is. And Jupiter. I can tell that there is one moon just handheld like this, which I think is impressive, right? I could see. I mean, I don't want to claim that I could see it with 100% certainty. There is some detail in the ISS looking through this on a tripod, which, you know, I mean, that makes sense, right? If I look at Jupiter, I can clearly see that it's a disk and not a thing, and the ISS is more or less, as I said, the same angular size as Jupiter. So I guess it's not really that surprising. With binoculars, they are much shorter, but the focal length actually might be quite close to this, because you have really fancy optics inside the binoculars that effectively increase it, whereas this, I think, is more like a Galilean setup. But I don't think there are really any fancy mirrors or I don't know what it's called in English. Ranol. Prisms. That's it. That's it. Yeah, there are none. This is just lenses. This is just light going straight through lenses. So you could make something in a smaller form factor a lot more efficient, or something with the same effective focal length a lot smaller. That's what I'm trying to say. Which I guess is exactly what modern binoculars do. So maybe everything I'm saying is just bullshit, and I'll just get binoculars or a monocular. What the fuck do I do now? I guess I just go home.